So today we'll start with the problem. On again one more problem with a pipe with parallel pipes, nothing but flow through pipes when a parallel pipe is given to us. Okay, so this is a problem. So a pipe of diameter 20 centimeter and length 2000 meter connects two reservoirs having difference of water level as 20 meter. Determine the discharge through the pipe. So first what he's telling that a single pipe, not branched pipe like this. He's telling that a 20 centimeter pipe with 2000 meter length as when only a single pipe is connected, it is having a h of 220 meters, nothing but difference of this reservoir water height and difference of this, nothing but between these two heights of the water, the gap maintained is 20 meters, nothing but that is the difference of head. Okay, so he's asking to find the discharge when a pipe is connected in a single manner. And next what is telling, if an additional pipe of diameter 20 centimeter and length 1200 meters is attached to the last 1200 meter length. So in the second case, what is telling, for the same pipe, if we are going to attach one more pipe of again same diameter 20 centimeter dia and whose length is 1200 meter, like this it is attached. So find the increase in the discharge by taking the F friction factor as F equal to 0.015 and neglect the minor losses. So he's asking to neglect the minor losses. So we need to consider only the major losses for solving the problem. Okay. So here we need to solve two things. One is for case one, without any branch, just a single pipe we need to assume to find the discharge of the pipe. And next, if you are connecting one more pipe parallel to this pipe, so what is the discharge difference is asking. Okay, suppose if you find discharge Q here, in case of first case, if you find Q, the discharge in the single pipe, and here you are going to find discharge Q1 again, because discharge will be common in all things. So Q, if you find Q1 in the second case, so what is the difference of this Q and Q1 is asking in the case 2. Okay, find the increase in the discharge. Right, so please copy the question. Everybody, please copy the question. You can copy the diagram also roughly. So if you see the diagram, he has given diameter for all the cross section of the pipe is 20 centimeter only. In the second case also, the branched pipe diameter also 20 centimeter only given. Yes, a little bit faster you can copy the question. Yes, after copying, just inform me if you have completed writing the question. Yes, can I go for the next slide? Yes, please respond. Have you completed writing the question? Sai Prasad?
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Yes. Okay. So first we have to take the case 1. So this one, without any branched pipe, we need to find the discharge. What is the discharge in the pipe? We need to find first. Okay. So first write on the given data. So he has given the diameter of the pipe D equal to 20 centimeter. So that is 0.2 meter. And the length of the pipe without any branch, if you see in the first case 1, the total length of the pipe is 800 meter plus 1200 meter. So total length of the pipe for the case 1 is 2000 meter. So the length of the pipe is L equal to 2000 meter. And difference of water level already he has given, that is capital H equal to 20 meter. And he has given coefficient of friction factor F equal to 0.015. And now we need to find the area of the pipe whose diameter is 0.2 meter. So pi by 4 into 0.2 square, find the area. Pi by 4 into D is 0.2 meter. So pi by 4 into 0.2 meter square.
0.0314, sir.
0.0314 meter square. Okay, good. Right. So in the first pipe, if you see when a single pipe is connected, what is the main loss happening here? It is only the frictional loss in the pipe. So because of the frictional loss, there is a difference of H in the two tanks. So already we know the formula, capital H is equals to the losses. What are all the losses we are having here? Since he said to neglect the minor losses, the only loss which is in the first case is the frictional loss. So frictional loss formula already we know by Darcy equation, that is 4FL V square by 2GD. Right. So we have all the values except the velocity. So we can substitute all the values here to find the velocity. So what is H given? H is given as 20 meter. Okay, so substitute all the values. So 4 into what is F value? 0.015 into L value is 2000 meter. 1000 into, we don't know V square, so let it be V as it is. Next 2 into 9.81 into diameter of the pipe is 0.2 meter. So from this you can find V. So V equal to, you need to tell what is the value of velocity.
36.166, sir.
36 point. Yes, repeat it.
16, sir.
36.16.
1616, sir.
Okay. Just check whether V is the value right answer.
Sir, I got 0.808.
Velocity.
Yes, sir.
0.808. Yes, any others with different answer? I think 0.08 is right. Yes, Prasad, tell again 0.808.
808.
Yes, so those are said before. They need to check that 0.808 is correct. Then you can substitute to find discharge. Already we know what is discharge is equal to area into velocity. So area already we have calculated, that is 0.0314 into V value. So Q equal to A into V. So substitute the values. So area is 0.0314 into 0.08.
0.808, sir.
Yes, 0.80.
0.025.
0.025 meter cube.
No, 2537.
2537 meter cube per second is the discharge in the pipe for case 1. Nothing but we don't have any branched pipes here. What we are considering that it is a single pipe. So we have calculated the discharge in that pipe by using this frictional formula. That's it. Total losses are created because of only the friction. So that's why we have taken Darcy equation for finding that. So H equal to 4FL V square by 2GD. Suppose in the same problem, if he's asking to find by using minor losses, we need to check whether the pipe is increasing in size, any contraction, any expansion, if anything is there. That formulas we need to additionally add here at what sections it is happening there. Okay, so for this problem, no need. So next, what is asking for the same pipe, what he is doing is connecting a parallel pipe in the one part of the pipe like this. Right, so he has connected, if in an addition, a pipe of diameter again 20 centimeter and length is 1200 meter is attached to the last 1200 meter length of the existing pipe. Nothing but Already the existing pipe is the first pipe which you have seen. So one more pipe of length 1200 meter is connected at this like this at the last end. He said here at the last 200 meter length of the existing pipe. So what happens here? We already know when the pipe is discharged here, we can see that Q1 is equals to Q2 plus Q3. Nothing but the total discharge at any section will be same. So if you take section here and here, Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. So that concept we'll use and we'll find the remaining things which we need. Okay. So when we are seeing here, if you see the length of this first branched pipe Q2 and the Q3 is same. Okay. Since both are parallel, what I'm doing, this is up to here, it is same length 1200, 1200. And this pipe CD is taken as 800 meter. Okay. Right. And one more thing, in all the sections of the pipe, diameter is constant. And we also know one more concept. What is that? The frictional loss in parallel pipes will be always same. Right. Already we have seen that in the last classes. That is nothing but here and here. The frictional loss will be same. Okay. So I'll show this one like this. So loss of head for each branch is same always. So whenever a pipe is branched, the loss of head in each branch will be same. So that is the thing I said now. That is 4 FL V1 square by 2G D1 for the first section, and similarly loss of head because of friction in the second will be equal. So that thing again here same thing. So loss of head in this because of the friction will be equal to loss of head in this because of the friction. Okay. So now what we'll do for case 2. Yes, have you copied this previous one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So after this, we are going for the case 2. In case 2, nothing but we are going to take a parallel pipe like this. So we are attaching one more pipe here. Okay. So now what we'll do, first we'll write the given data. If it is branched, what happens? We'll get 3 sections of the pipe here in between CD, DE and DF. This will be 3 sections. So let us take L1. That is nothing but length between C and D is 800 meter. So diameter D1 is 20 centimeter, which is 0.2 meter. I have written in here meter. Okay. So similarly for the branch pipe of 1200 meter length, so L2 is 1200 meter, diameter is again 0.2 meter, and L3 is nothing but for this D to F, L3 length 1200 meter again, right? So we already know by the continuity, discharge at this section will be equal to discharge at this section. Suppose if it is a branched pipe like this, you will get discharge at Q1 is equal to sum of these 2 discharges. So Q1 equal to Q2 plus Q3. Okay, so if you see here already we know discharges are Q equal to A1 V1 or A2 V2. So here what is there? These 2 are having of same length and same diameter. So we can tell that both the discharges will be same in these 2. Okay, since you can see length of the pipe DE and length of the pipe DF both are same and diameter also same. Okay, so definitely the discharge passing through both the pipes will be always same. So what I am writing here is Q2 plus Q3 is taken as 2 times of Q2, anything. Either you can take Q3 or Q2. So 2 times of Q2. So what is Q2 now? Q2 equal to Q1 by 2, right? From this. Any doubt here? Are you able to understand what I'm writing here? So since the discharge in both of these is same because the diameters are same. Suppose if the diameters are not same, we cannot take this one as 2Q2. Definitely there will be a difference in the discharge if the diameters are different. Since the diameters are same, we can take the discharges both are same. Okay, because areas become same. Right. So now Q2 equal to Q1 by Q2. Oh, sorry, Q1 by 2. So from this, we can write velocities also equal. So suppose if you write here A2 V2, here A1 and V1. So already you know cross-sectional areas for this all the 3 sections are same. So A2 and A1 gets cancelled. So we'll get V2 equal to A2 by 2. Sorry, V2 equal to V1 by 2. Okay, that step if you want, I'll write here. A2 V2 equal to okay. So since A1 and A2 both are same, what we'll get? We'll get V2 equal to V1 by V2. V1 by 2. So if you have any doubt in this slide, you can ask me, because this is very important for this problem, this part. Okay, copy this. Okay, so now what we can do, we will apply the Bernoulli's equation for the section 1. Let us take the section 1 as at the A point, and at section 2 nothing, but we need to take full setup for the Bernoulli's equation. So I'm considering the section 1 at the A point and section 2 at the B point for the application of Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so Bernoulli's equation, what we'll get, P1 by rho G, that fully we need to take. So at A, if you see, the water is stagnant and it is the pressure applied here is atmospheric pressure. So let us take that pressure as 0 here. So similarly, at the top surface of the water here, PB, so there also the pressure will be taken as 0. And velocities at the section 1, since the water is in the tank, it is stagnant, and we can take velocities also 0. And here also at last, if you see the tank, again the water is stagnant. So at point B, if you consider, again the velocity will be 0. So what we'll get, P1 by rho G plus V1 square by 2G plus Z is equals to P2 by rho G plus V2 square by 2G plus Z, plus you will have your loss of frictions in the pipe. So I'm taking the loss of friction in the pipe from C, D and E, or you can take C, D and F. Okay, anything. So what we'll get finally, pressures are taken as 0 here because both are at the atmospheric pressure at the top surface. Okay, similarly velocities are also 0. So what are things left after writing the Bernoulli's equation is, left is Z1. Okay, here left is Z1. For section 2 you can see, okay, right, so let us take this B point as your datum line. So the datum head for A point becomes 20, and datum head for the B point, let us take at B as your datum line. Okay, 1 second, I will draw and I will do it. So I'm taking the datum as from B point. Okay, so from B we have datum line. So for the first section, what is the Z value? What is the height of this? 20. It is given already. The difference of water level at A and B is given as 20 meters. So Z1 becomes 20. So what about Z2? What about Z2 here?
0.
0. Very good. Right. So when you're taking the Bernoulli's equation, already you know what is the Bernoulli's equation. I said P1 is 0. So P1 is 0 first. Next, again, we have velocity is 0 at the section 1. So this is the section 1. Let us take here. This is section 1, X. And this is section 2 here. So in between these two, we are applying the Bernoulli's equation. That is the meaning here. Okay. So P1 by rho G is 0. Since that A point, it is atmospheric pressure, we will take as 0. And the water is stagnant in the tank at section A. So velocity V1 is 0. Plus what is left is Z1. So that Z1 here, it is equal to H. Is it right or not? Z1 is equal to what the H value is given here. So I'm writing it as H here. Is equals to, again in the section 2 also we have pressure 0, velocity 0, and we have Z2 which is also 0 because it is passing through the datum line. And next what we'll have the losses because of the friction here. So loss of pipe here. So first we have one loss, that is, let us take it as H F1 in the CD pipe plus H F2 which is in DE pipe. So either here you should take DE pipe or DF pipe, because since the pipes are parallel, the frictional losses in both of these will be same. Anyone we can consider, either DE or either DF. So this is the equation finally we'll get. So already we know this is the loss of head because of the friction. So because of the friction, we are using the Darcy equation. So HF1 we can write it as 4FL V1 square by 2G D1 for the section 1 plus 4FL V2 D2 V2 square by 2G D2 for the section 2. So instead of showing this directly, I have written here. So what is the left thing? H equal to HF1 plus HF2. So that is the thing I have written here. So H equal to, after applying the Bernoulli's equation, we'll get capital H equal to loss of head because of the friction in the first section of the pipe between C and D from here to here. That is a loss of head because of the friction, plus loss of head because of the friction either in DE or either in DF, anyone. Both will be same. So I have taken DE. You can assume it is D. Okay. So these are the two losses. So now what we'll do, we'll substitute all the terms which we know here. So already we know H value, which is given 20, into F value is constant, that is given in the question 0.015 into L1. So what is the first section length? L1 is 800 meter. Okay. Right. So L1 is 800. And for second section, L2 is 1200. Into 2 into D value is 0.2, common for all the pipes. Next, here you can see, so instead of writing, so already we have calculated what is V2. V2 is in terms of V1. V2 equal to V1 by 2. So this term we can substitute here for finding the velocity, which we don't know till now, right? So instead of writing V2, what we need to write? We need to write V1 by 2. Okay. So V2 square we have, we'll get it as V1 square by 4. So that V1 square by 4 I have written here. V1 square at the top side and divided by 4 at the bottom I have written. Okay. Any doubt here? So V1 square by 4 I have written at the bottom. Right. So now you can calculate what is the velocity V1 in the pipe. Yes, please calculate velocity V1.
Sir, I'm getting 1.090.
Yes, 1.090 meter per second. Yes, now calculate Q also. So already we have A1. Or if you don't have A1, you can calculate A1 equal to pi by 4 D1 square. So what is D1 here? 0.2. Pi by 4 into 0.2 square. So find A1, then you can find this one. Yes, tell me the discharge value Q1 equal to
0.034, sir.
0.034.
34.
Right, 0.034 meter cube per second. Okay, so now if you see what was the discharge when we have seen first, we have calculated Q value, that is 0.02537. Right, so already we know when we are keeping a parallel pipe, the discharge will increase. So that's why we can see Q1 value is a little bit more compared to the previous discharge what we have calculated Q. Right, so now we can calculate increase in the discharge. So how much is the increase because of this application of the parallel pipe? So what is that? Increase in discharge equal to what we got here is Q1 minus what is the thing which I calculated without the parallel pipe. Right, so what we have 0.034 minus what was the discharge first we have calculated 0.0 first case 0.0253 0.02537. Right, so this is the increase in the discharge. Yes, what is the value?
8.63 into 10 to the power of minus 3.
8.63 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, so this is the increase in the discharge in meter cube per second. Okay, so increase in the discharge when you're keeping a parallel pipe is calculated in this way. Right? If you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll go for the next topic. Yes, you inform me if you are completed. We'll go for the next topic. Okay, so I'll go. Okay, so next topic is hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. Okay, so this is very important. Most of the times they ask theory as well as rarely they ask the problem also in this. Theory part they asked many times, right? So it is just the extension of the previous topics. Okay, so it is used again in the flow through pipes only. Okay, so what is this lines actually means? It's just an imaginary only. We don't say actually, just it is imaginary, right? In the representation of graphs and all, we can see this. So what is that? Hydraulic gradient line. And one more is there, that is total energy line. So already we know what is the meaning of total energy. Yes. Yes, any doubt? So total energy already we know that is summation of pressure energy, kinetic energy, datum energy, all the three together called as total energy. And same thing, if it is hydraulic gradient line is nothing but just without we are neglecting only the kinetic head. Nothing but if you are taking the summation of pressure head and datum head along the pipe. Suppose if you see this is a pipe connected to a tank. So along the pipe, if you assume at this point, if you find the pressure head and datum head, and if you take the what is the height value, that head value, what will get pressure head in meters. So if you mark here on graph or something, nothing but if you take it as y coordinates, so you'll get a line connecting through like this here, HGL you can see. Okay, assume that here at the point B, if you're finding the pressure head plus datum head, you'll get something, some height you will get, that height is marked here as G point. This line is taken as your datum line, which is the center of the pipe. Center line of the pipe is taken as a datum line or datum head. Okay, so pressure head if you calculate and if you keep that distance here as 1 point here for this section at the point B, that will be here. And similarly, if you find at the C point, it will be here. So if you join the line from the vertical ordinates of all the lines from, or if you take all the sections anywhere, if you mark the pressure heads like this. If you connect all the points, you'll get a line, imaginary line, that is called as your hydraulic gradient line, right? So similarly, if you want a total energy line, what we'll take? We'll take the summation of pressure head, kinetic head, and datum head. And again, same thing if you are drawing the points on the vertical ordinates, nothing but heights. The line joining all the points will give you a total energy line. Okay, so now we will see the definition, how to define. So it is defined as a line which gives the sum of pressure head and datum head of the flowing fluid in a pipe with respect to some reference. So that some reference we are taking as the center of the pipe for this problem. If you see for this diagram, that reference is taken as the center of the pipe. So from several reference lines, which is obtained by joining the top of all vertical ordinates, showing the pressure head of the flowing fluid in the pipe from the center of the line. Okay, so what we will take for this pipe, suppose here it is shown as a single horizontal pipe. Suppose if you have many cross section of the pipes, it may be having enlargement or it may be having contraction. Any different types will be there, not like a horizontal constant diameter. It will be varying diameter. So at that time, what happens? We don't get a single horizontal inclined line like this. Sorry, horizontal line we won't get. We get a line which will be a zigzag manner because of the loss of energy. Actually, if you see, this point E should start from here. If you don't have any losses, okay, for total energy, if you don't have any losses, all the energies will be equal to this head 4 meters. If P by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z for this point will be equal to 4 meters actually, if you don't have any losses. But since if you see, there is an inlet loss of head because of the inlet, already we know formula 0.5 V square by 2g. So we need to remove this loss of head because of the inlet. So that loss here, it is calculated as HI equal to 0.19. So because of that loss, what happened? There is a difference of height here, nothing but difference of H value, this one. So that's why E starts here because of the loss. Same way, if you see here, the velocity is constant throughout here, so directly it is coming down. Suppose if you have a varying cross section, the velocity will be varied. So up to that point, it will be constant like this. Then again, it will drop and then it will increase depending upon the pipe positions and pipe shapes given. The total energy line and hydraulic gradient line will be changing depending upon the minor losses or major losses, which is the frictional loss. Okay, so here why it is coming down like this, what happening actually is because of the frictional loss in this. What happened? The head level will be increased continuously in this. Losses are happening, that is only the frictional loss here. So that's why from E to F, if you see, there is a loss of head, right? So if you see at B point, the head is up to E. If you see at the C point, the head is only up to F point because there is a loss of friction here. More friction as you go along the line, right? So suppose if you see at the middle of the pipe, if you see the same thing, the loss will be little bit because the pipe is taken only half of the friction loss. So that's why from E to here, it will drop. And if you go for the full pipe, it will drop up to F. So as the losses increases, the inclination of the line also will come down. Okay. So hydraulic gradient line is defined as the line which gives the sum of pressure head and datum head of a flowing fluid in a pipe with respect to some reference. Okay, which is obtained by joining the points of all ordinates showing the pressure head of the flowing fluid in a pipe from center of the pipe. So it is briefly or it is shortly taken as HGL, short form. Okay. So what we need to remember is a hydraulic gradient line is nothing but it is a sum of pressure head as well as the datum head. Okay, so we don't have any kinetic head here, right? So suppose if you want hydraulic gradient, total energy line, we need to add the kinetic head also, so that we'll get like this top side line. Okay, all are in case of in terms of heads only, head height of the fluid in the here. What is the height of the fluid because of the losses? Okay, so next, if you see the total energy line, it is defined as a line which gives the sum of pressure head, kinetic head, and datum head of a flowing fluid in a pipe with respect to some reference line. Again, same thing. So which is obtained by joining the top of all the vertical ordinates showing the sum of pressure head and kinetic head from the center of the pipe. So in general, shortly it is called as TEL, total energy line. Okay, total energy line. Okay. Okay, so this is the important question for short answers. They'll ask me, they have asked many times, what is this hydraulic gradient line? What is the total energy lines? So what you'll do, you need to draw this diagram shortly. Okay, so how you to draw this TGL and TEL, we'll see by seeing a problem also. We can solve a problem on this. So many times they've asked only the theory part of this hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. But for understanding how we are getting these lines, we are going to solve one problem after this. Okay. Okay, so you can copy their definitions. We have only 1 minute time for the session to expire. Then immediately you can join later after 1 minute. So you can copy these definitions for HGL and hydraulic, total energy line, TEL, hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. Okay.